for the people who got love for the people who got love for themselves.
For the love for the people, love for these streets, from north to the south to the west to the east, for the sake of this whole earth. Best believe we gotta stand strong together and make peace.
So, hello everybody. So, sorry that this is so late today. I mean, we're basically 8 hours after I actually wanted to go live, near enough. The reason being for that is I had stuff to do that was outside of my control. So, I've been focusing on doing some other work instead during the day, mainly to do with the YouTubes. Also, I've redone the Twitch overlay because Streamlabs OBS has moved over to this Prime system now, where you have to pay for like widget packets and stuff. So I've gone back to the basics temporarily until I get another solution, or basically I bite the bullet and actually pay for it. Yeah, that's what I've been up to today. And just to give a quick update as to where the work is at the moment. So I've shown you guys the prop system as it currently stands. So obviously the prop system's working now, which is nice, so I can place trees. Another small addition is I've got Josh to re-edit the models so that they are working somewhat correctly. And also there's a new material set up as well, so if I go up one level, sorry, go down one level here, we now have a bunch of temporary materials. I've been messing around with getting some actual material-like materials here, and like specific materials working. And also I've applied these to the new props as well. So what I've been trying to do at the moment is just get the rocks working. I have made a start on the code for that, but there was a crash, so I need to investigate why that's happened first of all. Right, so most obvious reason for this, I think, is the material's the wrong type. Easy fix, I think. Or in fact, actually, I could just try it without the material, see how that works. If it loads in, I believe it loads in with the default material, so I'll try copying all of this, sorry, commenting all of this stuff out and see what it does. I think I actually kind of prefer this minimalistic overlay style as well, something that's a bit tidier, kind of a bit more out of the way. And I'm probably going to do something similar to this in future, where if I do get like my own overlay package or something like that, all of this is going to be tucked off to one side, more so than it has been in the past. And I'm going to try and get all of that out the way so you can really see what's going on when I'm playing the game and stuff like that. So let's have a look. So that seems to work with the materials. The wells are spawning in, and rocks still crash for some reason. I think the reason being for this is currently I had kind of a prop limit set at 2 in terms of how many different props there were, and I've just overlooked one part of the code that just needs adjusting. I should have this all set up as part of a define, really. I mean, it should be using a more robust system in the future anyway, so that materials can easily be added and moved, but until then, how it's set up, kind of hard coded in. Maybe not the best way to do it, but it works for now. We'll probably want to look at the prop controller and editor camera. These case statements are fine for now. I don't believe there's anything here. Oh, there's this apparently. Do that. Less than 2. Let's try that now. Jump straight into it. Trees working. The rock working. I'm guessing it's been placed inside as the other thing. Or is it just not spawning in? I can't tell. Oh, there is a rock there. That's great. Same with the other things? I believe so. Yeah, by the looks of it, it's all working. What I need to do at some point is basically work out how these raycasts work properly. So the way it's currently set up, it will select the point at which the raycast hits and then place it in the adjacent space, but that's not quite the behaviour that I want. I mean, it is the behaviour that I want, but it's not. Doesn't quite work that way in all cases, because let's say we're taking this voxel here, the raycast is actually going to be inside of this cube. It's going to hit inside of this cube, so it's going to think we want to place it God knows where. Actually, we don't. We want to place it potentially on top. It works in placing it inside in this case, but that's not actually what we want. One thing I'm also going to do quickly as well, just something that I've just remembered I need to do. Change this rock texture to be a bit more actually rock-like. Light red, reddish tint, whiter. Big. Try that. I mean, it's certainly more like stone, but obviously these textures and materials will be updated properly by Josh, who's doing all the art and everything. More the colour I'd expect. Rock. This will probably stay as a separate material, so if we make a new one. Call it soil. And then pick a colour from this. Kind of a reddish, maybe orangey hue. A bit browner than that, I think. More yellow than anything else. I'd say around there. Let's try that. Although that does look very red. Turn that down just to. There we go, it's a bit better. Josh can obviously do a once over on all of these. Yeah, that's quite orange. You can tell I'm not the artist. I don't have any practice in doing this at all. Let's just remember how to. I believe the thing for that will be should be in the terrain controller. Hopefully there's not too many material instances I need to set up. Grass, 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 and then here's the rock ones. Oops, did I just do loads of... loads of other things by accident. I think that's everything. Let's try that. It'll be a horrible colour, but we'll see what it looks like at least. Yeah, that's really garish. Obviously we need to adjust that as well. Much darker. Probably around, if that's too dark actually. Ever so slightly, make it a bit yellower as well. Around there I'd say. Let's give that one a go instead. A playthrough. Don't know if that's actually updated it. Apparently so. A bit darker. Okay. Again. Clear now. A bit better. We'll leave it at that for now. Gosh, like I say, can edit these at some point. Rocks are looking good. Trees are about the right colour. Wells slightly different. So yeah, all's good with the stuff so far. I just need to work out this placement code. So one thing I was going to do is I want to essentially update the editor camera code so that all of this stuff is handled by a new function that, rather than just handling this for spawning props, actually handles it for all cases where this setting is turned on. So this setting is the one where, when looking at a voxel directly, it will decide basically where on the surface of that voxel you want to place an item, which is basically what this does. So we need to work out basically how to refactor some code I have up here to do that. So I'm basically going to update this code and maybe add a few additional variables to reflect that change. The world placement position, for example, is going to be altered slightly, as is voxel placement. So I think what I'll do is I'll make some new variables here. Or in fact no, what I'll do instead is I will just update the thing that decides this bit of code. So I'll have a few new functions. I'm going to put myself some music on. The music that I'm listening to is going to be different from on stream because the music that I play on here is like all royalty free stuff. It's not stuff I normally listen to. If I could listen to my own music and put it on YouTube I would. Sucks that I can't really, but oh well. So hello. I've just noticed actually some of my audio is cutting out on the mic, so I'm just going to adjust the settings quickly. Alright. So that should be a bit more sensitive now. It'll pick up my voice a lot more. I actually don't know how much of the audio is being cut off, but I suspect quite a bit. Right, so because I've added this new variable, it knows I need to bind it to the editor. So I'm just reading these two and just deciding what makes sense to keep within this function and what doesn't. So it's literally only this line of code. Obviously this will need changing shortly. All the way up. Let's just refactor this code so it makes a bit more sense. I basically just want to replicate the behaviour of these. But I might even scrap all of this code and use a different technique for deciding what place adjacent to these cubes I'm actually spawning in. So that can be deleted, so we don't need that anymore. That can be deleted. I'll just get rid of all of this basically, and then we want to do a position and then equals to something akin to one of these basically. So I might just make it equal to output location. That makes sense, I think. Get rid of all of this. I feel like the IntelliSense isn't updated properly. That or I've done something wrong. Double check all the brackets quick. That's fine. That's fine. That has a pair, so why is it not like that? Oh. It's highlighting both of these as an error. Don't know why. I'll just compile it, see what it does. IntelliSense seems to be broken. Just double check I don't need to change anything down here. Ah. This is basically just the behaviour that I want. I'm also going to add in something to the input controller. So, I seemed to get lost doing this last time. I believe it's project settings. If it'll load. Here we go. Go to input. Yeah, here we go. It's an action mapping. Got loads of them. Here we go. I don't believe n is occupied currently, so I'll use n. Makes sense. Just want to copy this. This one's fairly simple. Believe that's the variable name? Yeah. Where'd it go? There we go. Yep, that should be fine. Seems to check out. Still don't know why this is playing up, to be quite honest. I thought something else elsewhere. I genuinely have no idea. What have I done? Have I missed something? Ah, there we go. Right, that should be done. Be interesting if this works straight away, but I doubt it. This is unnecessary, I think, here. In fact, I won't break that just yet, just in case it isn't unnecessary. Let's check first. Should I get rid of the box code? Oh, I've definitely broken something. Alright, time to work out what I've done. Not quite what I wanted to do. why this would make a difference, but I'll try that anyway. Oh, of course, not calculating cam position first. I think that's right. Let's try that. So I need to do both. We're only updating that vector should it collide with anything. Still doing the same thing. What's it called? Make sure the mode is actually active first. So if this doesn't restore it to what it should be, then I know that there's something wrong with the way I'm calculating it now. I have broken it somehow and I have no idea why. Am I setting placement distance anywhere? Yeah. Oh, I'm not even calling the function, okay. To be fair, I probably could just inline that fairly easily. Did I make another function? What did I just call that function? I do silly stuff like that all the time, just forget to put stuff in, but I suppose that's part of development, isn't it, really? Hopefully. So getting the location. Should be fine. Try that. Maybe it just didn't compile before, but we'll try this. Using the wrong variable, I think that's why. Setting it at the cam location, obviously that's not what we want to do. Again, a silly mistake, but hopefully this should fix it. There we go. If it works now. I think I disabled that code and didn't undisable it. Undo. Compile again. Alright, this should be the last thing that he's doing, but we'll see. Might be some bugs with this code, you never know. Oh, nice. So it does work, apart from the side it doesn't. Works on the bottom. I mean, I guess it works how I would have intended it to, which is good. The only thing I need to fix is it not working on the sides properly, but I think that's a positional issue. Maybe if I just offset it ever so slightly. I imagine if I place it on the other side it might work. That's weird. It doesn't recognise that as visible. It's over there. Is it based on lighting, maybe? Hello. There's a flag in here. ECC visibility. Let's change this. Try world static. I think that's the right one. This. Okay, well that's still working. That's working how I remember it. This isn't though. Good. Like doing it on top of the inner block. It's like ignoring it at a certain distance. I don't know, maybe it's working actually. It's just hard to tell where the dot is. I don't know why it's doing that, to be quite honest. That's kind of weird. It's like if I get close enough, it kind of just ignores it. There was a setting I wanted to mess around with before, and it was the oh, what was it now? It was the normal, that was it. So basically, the impact normal the impact normal basically is the the outward angle at which the thing hits the surface. So let's say you were to throw a ball directly at the surface, the impact normal would be the direction in which it bounces back. So this should give me the slope of the surface that I'm looking at, and from that I should be able to work out what side it is my reasoning here. I'm just seeing what additional things I can get from this. Be able to get the X of it. So my thinking here is take the impact normal range, find out whereabouts it is, and then based on that do certain behaviours. Since when is the plus equals not a thing? that is recognised, why is plus equals not recognised? Okay, whatever. Let's just do that instead. Alright, so let's see if this works now. Alright, yeah. Right, so what I really want to do is just test that this code actually does what I think it does. So the impact normal for this should be 1 as it's facing directly up if I look at it from the top. So let's turn the mode on. So that I think is the same as before actually. Turn prop mode on. Yeah, so that's not actually changed. That hasn't either, which isn't great. Let's try it between a range. Let's say more than 0.05? Sorry, 0.5? Or we want it... Actually no, that should be fine. Yeah, let's try that. Right, let's have a look. Again, it's not doing the thing I would expect it to. Let me look at the docs quickly for impact normals. So that's part of the hit result class, so let's pull up a tab for that. Maybe I'm just using the wrong number for this then. Let's have a think. Oh, of course I'm not doing it afterwards, am I? Duh. I think I'm tired today. I think that's why I'm making so many mistakes. If I'd have done this a bit earlier in the day, I probably wouldn't be so bad. Now this should work, hopefully. I believe it's the Z component of the impact normal. Should be. looks like it's working. That's too many though. At least it works. It worked for these ones. Apparently not. Got ramps. I've got ramps. I'm going to change where that debug line shows actually. Just take these out, put them in here. Whew. Oh, it should be plus 50, shouldn't it? Why? The reason I'm doing it at 49 is because the point already seems to be on the block above for some reason, just maybe based on the accuracy of the Unreal Engine or the way it handles floating point math for that axis. I want it to be offset vertically by one space, but only for blocks that are like sloped and stuff like that. So this might be better off being something like 0.3. And this will just push it into the upper block without doing it for the one that's already pushed up. So the flat ones won't be pushed up one entire block. Excuse me, one entire block, just the ones that are sloped, I think. But we'll try it. Oh wait, that should have been a minus sign. Okay, let's try this. This should be the working thing now. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, so that's what I thought it would do. Tick. Or prop mode on. Cool. I can also adjust this number so that the slopes, I can actually place them inside the slope if I want to. So, I don't know, let's change it to... Oh, actually, I didn't see if that... I want to see if that dot shows up as well. I'll have to see. Oh, I don't actually want to cut that, I just want to copy it. That should show a debug point just in front of the camera. 90 Unreal units out, I think. Which is very close, it's less than a block in voxel space. But it will act like a cursor essentially. Let's give that a go. Yeah, that's a lot closer, obviously. That obviously isn't accurate at all. And on there. When aiming halfway. Probably rounding issue. Oh, it's because it's not using this rounded one, that's why. Try that. Think that'll fix it? Maybe. Draw it in the right place, hopefully. Oh well, it's not important. Right, you're getting a bit distracted now. Okay, let's do the behaviours for the other ones as well. Oh, that'd help. Ah, maybe that's why the plus equals didn't work. Again, lots of silly mistakes today. Just reorder those so it makes a bit more sense. There we go. Right, so all of these changes should have made the placement cube actually show up in the right place, but we'll test it now. Right, let's have a look. Hopefully it's not just broken everything. Right, so that's on top, that's good. That is too far. Apparently the impact normal on those is more than 0.7. We basically want to get it in the sweet spot where it doesn't offset the X and Y while also doing the Z. Right, that seems to be a bit better. That's working. That isn't working. Good. would have thought this should work. So the impact normal in the case of these. Kind of tough. Maybe I'm not adding enough offset. The impact normal there should be y-1, I think. Unless it's detecting it as like 0 or something stupid. Shouldn't do though. Let's try it from the other side actually. Working? No. Reset it back to 7. For some reason that worked on the slopes. It's like it's doing it on these ones, but I wouldn't have thought the impact normal would have been that large on these slopes. If anything, I would have thought it's relatively small. Try decreasing it to something ridiculous. Still doing it. Right. Try it over here. See what behaviour we get, see if it offers any clues as to what's going on. Right, so the sideways code works on the slopes. Works on here. Doesn't work on the sides. Works on the bottom too. So what is it about the sides that is different from the tops? I genuinely have no idea. How strange. Fun to mess around with either way. Still, can't figure it out. Let me think. It's the impact normal going in towards the camera. That's on the x-axis, I think, and so we'll need to change the x offset. Same as we've done with... Oh, I know what it is actually. I know what the issue is. Offset with plus 100, I believe, instead of plus 50. Right, that should work. Let's try this. Still not doing it, that's infuriating. Well, it shouldn't be going sideways, that's for sure. So I'm looking directly at that thing. But maybe the impact normal isn't actually what I think it is. Let's try something slightly different. Wait. No. I need to get the surface basically. What I need to investigate is if it's different if I'm looking at it head on or not. No is the answer to that. It's really strange. Right, so the impact normal in this case would be something, probably something like x is, I don't know, 0.7, right? Y would be like 0.1, and then the Z would be like 0.2. And that's if it's based on the camera position, which it doesn't seem to be. So this one would actually be as if the surface that it was hitting was like that. In that case, it should return... I'll explain what I'm just doing in a second here. Right, so what I've just done is in the case of these slopes, I've basically made it so that it only actually increments the point that we're looking at by 30, so that if you look down, you can actually place it inside the block, but it doesn't affect any of the other behaviour. So I can, if I want to, place a tree like that, basically. And I can also place an object on top if I really want to. Is it doing it in the wrong direction? I don't know why it would be, but check it anyway. It's just weird. It's basically identical to the other code. Still find it weird that it doesn't see these side panels. Oh, I might know what it is. If it is this, it's really stupid, but let's see. I have a sneaking suspicion that well, let me show you. I don't know if I've got the original blocks folder, might not do. Let's just get it up. Bear with me. I'm just going to try and find just going to re-import something. Basically I want a fresh import so I can auto-generate collision. Can't remember with the flat one if I added my own collision to it. That ticked in the other one, let's have a look. Yeah. Might be the fact that it's not actually colliding with anything, potentially. Still think this is weird. Right, what I'm going to do, I've been live streaming for some time now. I might take a break unless I can think of anything else I can do right now. One thing that Josh has done is he has sent me an updated, he's sent me an additional model basically, so I'll see if I can import that in. If I can get that up now. Where is it? Right, so I can't remember if Josh said he was getting this from somewhere or if he's made it himself, but we will have... Okay, so it's just basic T-pose character basically. Look at that material, force delete. In here, we'll make another one. Just call it skin. Probably nothing like actual skin, but I'll put it on anyway. Oh, that'll do actually. Let's implement this one. Oh, guess that's massive. Big boy. Right, I'll just message Josh quick. Right, so we've done that. Let's just see if there's anything else I had to do before. Oh, we've done. Sorry, my brain's just having a moment. It's getting to that point in the day where like stuff just ain't working. I think I need to take a break really. Possibly might come back on later because I did want to get some additional ones in. Additional live streams if I can. Well, an additional live stream. Nothing in here. I'm just editor stuff. Don't know if I had any additional to-dos. Done that. Done that. I'm sure something will jump out at me at some point. Just recompile it one more time just for the sake of it. Why wouldn't you work? Oh, one thing I wanted to do actually as well, just a quick aside, is I wanted to increase the zoom distance. So I'll do that now. Yeah, that's alright, it's a bit better now. Oh, don't want to open Discord. But one last look. I'm certain I can figure it out. Right, so if the impact normal x is equal to 1, which it should be in certain directions, then we add 100 to the cam aim position. Exactly the same as down here. If the output normal z is greater than 0.3, for the hell of it, let's try greater than again and do a smaller number this time. Do this just to test it. Right, same as, I'm almost certain the same as the other ones. There's no difference really, and it shouldn't matter that it's on a different axis either really. We shall see. Creating. It works on these bloody blocks. So the one in there would be like at an angle, wouldn't it? Z component would be quite big. X component would be quite small. Let's increase that to 0.3. I have a sneaking suspicion it is just ignoring these side panels. I'm almost certain it is just ignoring these side panels. God knows what reason. Maybe it just needs a collision. Save that. Cool. Oh, it's slow. Really slow. This one is working. Oh, all that work, eh? Turns out we don't even need that. Actually, rather than commenting it all out, I'll just get rid of this part. It'd been nice to have sorted this out earlier, but oh well. Oh, yes, that actually does work. Yeah, that's a nice feature where you can choose where it is you're placing it. Nice. See what it's like with some props in. That's cool. Yeah, awesome. So it does actually work. Sick. Let's remove that one if I can. I'll have to change it to distance mode. There we go. I'm actually kind of getting the hang of this editor now. That's quite nice. Just going to save that to send to Josh. Oh, and actually I'll send him something else as well. That's not the one. And then this. I'm over there. You know what it reminds me of? There's that, I can't remember what it's called, but that big man monument. I don't know how else to describe it. From it's near the Scottish border, I think. Let me see if I can find it. There we go, Angel of the North. Reminds me of this. Just looming in the distance. Cool. I'm really happy that stuff's working though. I mean, it's all coming together really quickly. Like, the thing is with the way I've developed this is when one feature comes online, everything's kind of possible very quickly. Like, sure, it's taking a long time for me to get these features up and running, but once they are, they work fine, and they work for a whole range of props as well, and it takes minimal effort to get them in. Eventually I might add a system in for Josh to be able to add in models himself, which would be quite nice, I think, for him. But I will think about it. Shouldn't be too difficult, but it'll be something that isn't necessary right now, so... Okay. We're actually nearly at 2 hours on the live stream, so I guess I will leave it there. So yeah, thanks for watching with this one. I'm quite happy with the progress that's been made so far. Even if that one thing I was doing was kind of stupidly simple to fix. It's just a matter of adding a collision on sides. I should have trusted my gut and just realised that it wasn't colliding properly. And with all the other smaller issues as well, I think I'm just tired, but I'll try and get on earlier tomorrow. 12 as my schedule says. Like I say, I was late today for a variety of reasons, but yeah, moving forward I should be more consistent. I'm a bit annoyed that it was late on my first day of trying to implement the schedule, but you know, there's nothing I can do about it. So yeah, thank you for watching, and see you next time.